Hello, it's Paige Green at Paige Green's Tutoring, and today we're going to be looking at timesing and dividing in standard form. So I'm going to go through 4 different examples of how this can come up and then give you a chance to practice at the end. So this one here, when we're multiplying or dividing in standard form, we first look at our numbers. So I want to do 3 times 4 to start off with, which gives us 12. I then look at my powers of 10. So I've got 10 to the power of 5 times 10 to the power of 3. Now, in order to do this, you need to be aware of the indice law that when we times 2 numbers together that have the same base but different powers, then we just add the powers together. So 10 to the power of 5 times 10 to the power of 3 gives me 10 to the power of 8, because I'm just adding those powers together. Now, having a look at our answer, it's not actually in standard form. We want to give this in standard form. So what I need to do is I need to change this here. I don't want it as 12 because that's too big. It has to be between 1 and 10. So I'm going to make it 1.2. So I've essentially divided it by 10. Now, if I've done that, I'm going to have to increase the number of times I'm multiplying it by 10. So when you have to decrease your base by dividing by 10, you add 1 onto the power to account for that. Let's have a look at doing this again on another multiplying one. So same thing again, I'm going to do my numbers first. So 5 times 6 is 30. And then I'm going to do my 10. So I've got 10 to the power of 3 times 10 to the power of minus 7. Now if I add the powers together, 3 add negative 7 gives me minus 4. So same thing again, 30 is too big, so I'm going to have to divide by 10. Now because I've divided by 10, I add 1 to the power. So minus 4, add 1, gives me minus 3. So if the base is decreasing, you're adding 1 onto your power. Let's have a go at 2 examples where we're dividing. So we do exactly the same thing. We focus on our numbers first, and then we focus on our powers of 10. So the first thing we're going to do is 1.8 divided by 6. And that gives us 0.3. I'm then going to have a look at my powers of 10. So 10 to the power of 5 divided by 10 to the power of 2. Now for this you need to be aware of the indice law, that when we're dividing 2 numbers that have the same base but different powers, all you need to do is take the powers away. So 5 take away 2 is 3. So I'm going to get left with to the power of 3. Now, this is too small to be in standard form. So standard form has to be between 1 and 10 as your base. So what I'm going to do here this time, instead of dividing it, I need to times it by 10. So therefore, in the opposite manner, if I'm timesing by 10, I need to take 1 off my power. So when the base is getting bigger, your power decreases by 1. Let's practice this again with the last example. So just like we did previously, we're going to look at our numbers, and then we're going to look at our powers of 10. So we've got 2 divided by 4, which is 0.5, and then taking the powers away. So 3 take away negative 5 actually becomes 8, because minus 5 gives us a positive. So it's going to be to the power of 8. Now again, it's too small, so I'm going to increase it by timesing it by 10. So I need to knock 1 off the power. And sorry, that is meant to be a 5 there. So hopefully that's given you a nice introduction to how this works. What I would like you to do is pause the video and have a go at these 4 questions to finish off. So let's have a look at this first one. So you should times your numbers together first to give you 21, and then add in your powers. That's not in standard form, so you would have needed to divide by 10 and therefore add 1 onto your power. This one here, doing your numbers first. So 4 times 3 is 12. Adding your powers of 10 together would give you 7. That's not in standard form. You're going to have to divide by 10 and therefore add 1 onto your power. So for this next one, I'm going to do 3.2 times by 4, which is 12.8. Add your powers together, which is to the power of 5. That's too big, it's over 10, so we're going to divide by 10 and therefore add 1 onto my power. So this last one then, 12.5 divided by 2.5 actually gives us 5. And then 10 to the power of 4 divided by 10 to the power of 2 leaves us with 10 to the power of 2. Now that is actually in standard form, okay? So it's between 1 and 10, so we don't need to change that. So hopefully this has given you a nice introduction to how we would solve problems like this. I hope you've enjoyed the video and look forward to seeing you in the